here's the truth. There are a lot of people that know you and love you that maybe you haven't come out and gone public like I have with, I'm living through the dying, living through the death of my melanin. Not everybody is comfortable being naked and afraid and putting themselves out there. I get it. But people will oftentimes notice that either there is a change on your skin or there's a change in you, that you're not okay. And that's not okay. Else who's also going through something that's really hard for them too, or their loved one too. And they can relate to you. And isn't that yummy? That's the warm chocolate chip cookie that we all deserve, is that feeling of yes, doom. Because I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want people to see my ugly skin. And I'll just say it. That's how I talked to myself. I don't want people to see my ugly skin. And full halt, like take the needle off the record. I don't have ugly skin. You don't have ugly skin. But that's how I felt. That's how I talked to myself. And by the grace of all things, I have the most beautiful child whose heart and love and spirit just never wavered. This Mom, you're so beautiful, and it's not a big deal. And I know it's got to be hard, but you're not your skin color. It was just sweet. Even though I didn't believe her, because I was going through so much of this self-loathing, just that consistent pouring in of love and her light. It's what inspires me to be here talking and sharing with you. This actually happened for me, not to me. And I know this may be really hard for some of you to hear. I get it. Because I didn't feel this way. I didn't believe this for so long. But this actually happens, like anything in life. This isn't just about vitiligo. This is anything in life that feels so catastrophic and makes us feel catatonic that just shuts our world down. These are the moments that we get to be our own best angels. And stay with me. I'm going to tell you, you are so much stronger and resilient then you know. And here is your moment, because you are being tested. I know it. I'm still there. I wasn't, I was. No, I am. I am tested every day. I am tested every time. I am just having a bad me day, right? Like there are just days that we wake up and we're like, oh, my hair is shiny. Oh, look how my skin glows. And there are other days that we wake up and we are train wrecks. We're train wrecks in here. We're train wrecks and just like we slept funny and our face is off. It's like, those days are just hard, vitiligo or not, right? Hi, I'm Marco, and I am back with another video talking a little bit about how I was first diagnosed with vitiligo. About 7 years ago, the first white spot appeared on my left hand. It was just under my knuckles and also in the inside of my thumb. Now, it was a really stressful time in my life, and I was not focused on myself, my own well-being, and what was going on with my skin. My hand to the sky, I actually thought I had a reverse bruise. You can't make it up. Now, number one, I had never seen a white patch. I'd never seen a white patch on my skin, at least not like that. Now, that said, it was very much like, ladies, if you've ever had, for darker skin women, you'll understand. For lighter skinned women, you'll understand that when you get a tan, so you've got more pigment in your skin, and you're shaving your legs with a new razor, and you just take that top layer of skin off, and it creates like that little white strip that looks like if you took a fish and you turned it on its belly, and it's like that fish belly white color, like no pigment at all. That was this patch, and I'd never seen anything like it. And I thought, well, wait a minute, that's different. But again, I was going through so much at the time, dealing with all the things, that I just thought it was a bruise, reverse bruise, that would go away. Until about 2 more weeks, and I noticed that the patches that were on my left hand had appeared on my right hand, like in the center of my right hand. And I thought, that's weird. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what am I banging my skin on? What am I scraping my skin on? But of course, I wasn't scraping it on anything. There was no scabs. There were no scars. It was just this fish belly white patch. Fast forward a few months, the stress had continued and a couple of more patches had appeared, but I just didn't have time to deal with it. When I woke up one day and I noticed that the spots on my right hand were completely gone. They were gone. I was like, oh, cool. Okay. So like the bruise is healed again. I didn't know. I was, number one, I was stressed. Number two, I was probably in denial that anything was wrong. So after about 6 more months, I went through another really eventful time, and I actually had the spot on my left hand come back, only this time I had a couple of more a little higher up. They were on my wrist. And this cycle of whitening and repeat went on for a couple of years until finally in 2020, during that pandemic, to about 2022, the white patches weren't getting their color back. And I thought, okay, this is something that is more serious. But then beyond that, it was also starting to appear on my chest, on my legs. I am a skinny jeans fan, and where my jeans were rubbing both on the inside of my thighs and around my knees, I was losing pigment. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I am rubbing my color off. So I stopped wearing skinny jeans. You can't make it up. And I know now how ridiculous that has to sound, but it was true. If I wore something that was tight on my wrist or tight on my ankle, where there was that friction, I was losing pigment. And I went, okay, that's like, I've got to go in and see a doctor. So I went into my primary care doctor, still not thinking, because it was a skin condition, obviously I probably should have seen a dermatologist. Never occurred to me. I'm just going to go to my primary care doctor and go, help, I'm turning white. And they said, wow, okay, that looks like it could be vitiligo. We need to send you to a dermatologist. And I went, Vita, what? I had never heard of it. And my doctor, to his credit, said it's a condition that a lot of people don't think is common, but it's actually more common than a lot of us think. I've seen several cases. It does look like vitiligo to me, but you need to see a dermatologist. They'll actually do tests and determine what it is, and then they can tell you what treatment options you have. And I remember thinking, treatment options? Fuck that. I'm not trying to get this treated. I want it gone. But I didn't say anything. I thought, okay, treatment must mean like you're going to give me some cream, send me home, and my skin color will, like, it'll reverse. It took me a few weeks to get an appointment with the dermatologist that he referred me to. And I remember sitting in the waiting room thinking, okay, once I get the pill, like, how long is it going to take for me to get my color back? Because I had an event coming up in a few months, and I was like, boy, I hope by the time this gala happens, I'll have all my color back. And I just, Oh, and those of you watching this video that have vitiligo, I know you're like, really, girlfriend? Again, we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. And I'm with a dermatologist and I am so hopeful. Oh, I'm so excited. I finally went into her. She's going to give me a pill and it's all going to be better. And she was asking me, she did the full workup in terms of what was I going through, when it appeared. And I was telling her, well, when I was really stressed, my first spot appeared and then the stress went away and my color came back. Because I'd done one Google search and the two things that I had read was that vitiligo, you don't repigment, like you don't get your color back, it's permanent. But with certain treatments, you can get your color back. And so again, like I just stopped reading and I'm like, okay, so if I can get my color back, that means like my color is just back, like back. So stay with me. She then proposed, she did the wood lamps test, which I'll do a video on that about exactly what is the lamp that they actually utilize as a tool to do the diagnostic, and why it's actually really interesting how they do the diagnostic assessment. So I'm going through this process and she says, yes, it's vitiligo. Now, how we're going to treat it, you can't make it up. She prescribed little tubes of cream. At the time, I didn't know they were little tubes of cream. She's like, we're going to prescribe these couple of different ointments for you. Use them morning and night. It should help stop the spread. And then to help you repigment, I'm gonna give you a prescription for, it was very significant amounts of vitamin D that I was taking, because I was actually very low on vitamin D per the blood tests. And I would recommend that once a week you go and you get 30 minutes of sun in a tanning bed. Cool. My mother's white, my father's African American, so I have that kind of light caramely skin, and in the summertime I absolutely went to tanning beds. I grew up going to tanning beds. I liked to have that darker, more like lightly cooked bacon skin, like the crispy, yummy, darker skin. And so I was like, awesome, I know tanning beds, I'll go to a tanning bed. So I leave her office, I go to the pharmacy, I pick up the prescription, and I'm like, oh no, these are like little tubes of cream. And I had vitiligo on my chest, on my inner thighs, around my knees, all up and down my arms by then. And I'm like, really? These little tubes for my whole body? But I didn't know. So get the tubes, get the vitamin D, go home, put them all away, and I go to the tanning salon. And the girl asks me, it was a new tanning salon, the girl asks me, hey, why are you here? What are your tanning goals? And you fill out all the sheets. And I didn't say anything about my vitiligo because I was embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. And that had been building for a while. For example, I remember about a month before I got my diagnosis, I went in to get my nails done. And a couple of my go-to nail ladies over the years had seen the vitiligo on my hands, and they were kind. They were like, well, you should get it diagnosed, and there's probably something that you can do to get the color back. And they had seen the color come and go. So I'd gone to a new tanning salon, and this tanning salon actually refused to do my nails because they said that I had a fungus. And I was like, I don't have fungus. It was a horrible moment. And I actually ended up going back like a week later to my normal nail gal who did my nails. But it was just mortifying. So here I go into the tanning salon, and I'm like, I don't want to tell them that I have a skin condition, because they'll be like, oh, you can't go in the tanning bed because you have a fungus. Even though I knew it wasn't a fungus, it was vitiligo. I still really didn't know what vitiligo was. So fast forward to, I get into the tanning bed, and it was, if you're a tanner, if you go to tanning beds, you'll know, if you haven't been in a while or if you've never been, they start you out slow and then they build up like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, so that you don't burn. And so she recommended I go in for 15 minutes, and I'm like, cool, because I hadn't been to the tanning bed in literally actually years with everything that had been going on, and then COVID, and I'm not trying to hang out in tanning beds during a global pandemic. No, thank you. So I go into the tanning bed. I did not last 5 minutes. It felt like if you were to put bacon in a pan and just sizzle it. My skin was sizzling. I've never felt pain like that. And it was my whole body, head to toe. It was just my skin was on fire. I got out of the tanning bed. I'm like, I'm out. Nope. That didn't work. But it was really the first time that my entire skin, my entire body had been exposed to those kinds of intense rays. And I left the tanning salon in tears. I was hurting so much, and I was so scared. I just didn't understand. I didn't understand. I didn't understand what was happening. Other than I hated how I looked. I was now in pain. And I was mad because I was trying to fix this. And instead I had hurt myself. Didn't even realize how much I had hurt myself, obviously, until later in the day and the next morning, where all of the white spots were inflamed and red. And you can imagine how that ended. Which, of course, the skin that was actually really damaged and that ultimately scabbed over and peeled, I just lost more color because I damaged the skin. Oh, I laugh about it now because it's either laugh or like go back and kill the dermatologist that originally diagnosed me, and I don't want to do that. But it taught me a really valuable lesson that we are our own medical advocate. And I hadn't done my research, and then I hadn't taken it as seriously as I maybe should have. And just in that this was something that was happening to my body that I didn't understand. And so stop trying to minimize it or lessen it. And this is not just about vitiligo, right? We do this all the time, just in general, especially if you're a woman and you're watching this. We either don't take great care of ourselves because we're so busy taking care of everybody else, or it's really scary when we're sick or something's off, or we have a different kind of a pain somewhere. So I went home and I did the deep dive. I did the Google diagnose, right? Where all night long I was up Googling vitiligo and trying to find videos online, which this is why you're watching this video right now, is because you're probably like, there's not a lot of good videos online that talk about vitiligo, both the experience as well as what the treatment options are, how you cope with a devastating diagnosis like this, all the things, which is again why I'm here, why I'm talking to you. When I tell you I was flipped out, that doesn't even freaking begin to describe how really realizing what I was dealing with this new diagnosis, with this unique skin condition I thought I knew after talking to that dermatologist. I had no idea. And I was horrified. I was horrified. I was hopeless. I thought my life was over. And if you're watching this and you've had that first diagnosis and you realize that it's not curable, the treatment options suck, on and on and on. If you are feeling that way right now, I'm going to tell you, stop feeling that way. Because it's not hopeless and you're not helpless. And we're going to talk about all the things on what you can do and how you can do them to help you manage this unique skin condition. But I promise you that it is not hopeless or helpless. So if you're feeling that way, stick with me. We're going to go into all of it. This is what I know for sure. This is a condition that can feel really overwhelming to manage, because it's not like, oh, I have a white patch, I need to figure out how to cover that. Oh, I have a white patch, I'm going to put a dab of cream on it and see if it gets better. It is, yeah, I have a white patch, and tomorrow I may have another white patch. A week from now, I might have white patches on my arm. You don't know. There's no predictability. You don't know how to prepare for it. It's very difficult to manage, because here's the truth. There's all kinds of treatments for vitiligo. The reality, though, is it's different for everybody. And because we don't know what actually causes it, and because for a lot of people, the process of getting a good diagnosis can be really hard. Because the truth is that most doctors have never actually seen this condition. And really infuriating, most dermatologists have never actually seen this condition. So hey, medical community, you got to do better. I'm just going to say it. You need to do better. And if you've not ever seen this condition, just own it, and perhaps a referral to a different specialist could be helpful for your patient. The best dermatologist that I ever found was actually from a gynecologist 2 or 3 years ago that said, oh my gosh, is this vitiligo? I said, yes. Well, tell me about that. How are you having it treated? What's causing it? And I was like, I don't know what's causing it. I'm not having it treated because I've tried everything and nothing works. And oh, by the way, at the time, I'm just going to say the name of the company, I was with Kaiser Permanente, and there are no vitiligo specialists in the entire Kaiser Permanente network, which, oh, by the way, Kaiser, you got to do better. Rant over. But this gynecologist said, hey, I actually went to medical school with a couple of people who I know who have, one of them was a wife and one of them was a husband, who are dermatologists, and they're within the Kaiser network. And I actually think that they specialize in vitiligo. Turns out they didn't specialize in vitiligo, but they actually had referred patients to specialists outside of the network, which, so again, now I'm seeing dermatologists outside of the insurance network, which a lot of insurance companies don't even cover vitiligo treatment because it's considered cosmetic, like a boob job. Well, no, this is not a cosmetic enhancement to try to get my skin color back. So, medical community, I'm going to say it one last time before I move on. You guys to do better. Back to my point. If you are dealing with this unique condition, I can tell you this. It is a journey, and it is a journey that you cannot ever be prepared for. Even when you know a lot of the medical things and what could happen, what doesn't happen, there's so much misinformation out there. Yes, it's curable. My friend, it's not curable, but it is manageable. And for me, some of the treatments that I tried, and again, I did everything. I did all the creams. I did all the light therapies. I did meditation. I did hypnosis. Like, I did it all. I went from the woo-woo to the goo-goo, all of it. The pills on the inside, the goop on the outside, the mind, everything. And for a period of time, some things actually worked. And I'm going to share with you in full transparency about all of it in future videos, because I want you to have all the information. And where I am today, I've actually stopped doing any of the treatments because it was expensive. It was so emotionally taxing to go, maybe this is going to be it. Maybe this will give me my color back. And it worked as long as I was doing whatever the treatment was. But as soon as I stopped, I would lose color, and actually more color. Like, I wasn't just depigmenting to the level that I had been. It was getting worse. So with the grace of my daughter, who from day one, like literally my first spot was like, oh, I'm sorry you're going through that, but you're beautiful, Mom. And I was like, wah, wah. Like, we don't want to hear that when we're dealing with something that is so overwhelming that because it's not, again, this is not a cosmetic condition. It's disfiguring. And for me, and I'll share in another video, just what my personal journey was with culture and color, which absolutely also impacted my feelings and how I was managing this journey. But I was devastated. I didn't want to leave my house. I stopped going to in-person meetings. I mean, fortunately, after the pandemic, a lot of the options were to attend a meeting via Zoom. I attended a lot of meetings via Zoom because I didn't want people, I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want people to see my ugly skin. And I'll just say it. That's how I talked to myself. I don't want people to see my ugly skin. And full halt, like take the needle off the record. I don't have ugly skin. You don't have ugly skin. Our skin is not ugly. It is going through a biological change, and that's okay. It's not ugly, but that's how I felt. That's how I talked to myself. And by the grace of all things, I have the most beautiful child whose heart and love and spirit just never wavered. Just, Mom, you're so beautiful and it's not a big deal. And, I know it's got to be hard, but you're not your skin color. And, gave me beautiful Christmas gifts that represented, that she actually created, because there's not big products out there that have particularly good representation of this journey. So she created really beautiful custom gifts that just celebrated what my journey was. And it was so helpful. The little vitiligo teddy bear, right? It was a big vitiligo teddy bear. That was just sweet. And even though I didn't believe her, because I was going through so much of this self-loathing, just that consistent pouring in of love and her light. It's what inspires me to be here talking and sharing with you. If I can pour out some of my love and my light, and also a heck of a lot of information about this is a journey and this is how to help you with the journey. And just hear me when I tell you you're beautiful, you're handsome. It gets easier. It gets easier, I promise. So if you're feeling so overwhelmed right now or sad, again, the depression, the deep grieving that I did for my normal, for my beautiful, for the color of my skin, like it was grieving, realizing that my skin cells were dying, which they were. And I actually went through a process of grief. And then, yes, actually came the process of acceptance. And not just acceptance, but actually like celebration. I'm so honored to be able to sit and speak to you and tell you that our journey, it's not about our skin. Our journey is something to be celebrated. This actually happened for me, not to me. And I know this may be really hard for some of you to hear. I get it. Because I didn't feel this way. I didn't believe this for so long. But this actually happens, like anything in life. This isn't just about vitiligo. This is anything in life that feels so catastrophic and makes us feel catatonic, that just shuts our world down. These are the moments that we get to be our own best angels, where we get to realize that this experience is happening for us. So what do we do with it? Are we meek? Are we afraid? Are we disempowered? Are we angry? Which, oh, by the way, feeling all those feels, that's fine. Feel all those feels. And then when you're ready, take a breath and stay with me. I'm going to tell you, you are so much stronger and resilient than you know. And here is your moment, because you are being tested. I know it. I'm still there. I wasn't, oh, well, I was. No, I am. I am tested every day. I am tested every time I am just having a bad me day, right? Like, there are just days that we wake up and we're like, oh, my hair is shiny. Oh, look how my skin glows. And there are other days that we wake up and we are train wrecks. We're train wrecks in here. We're train wrecks and just like we slept funny and our face is off. It's like, those days are just hard, vitiligo or not, right? And days that we just wake up and we just don't feel pretty or handsome or seen or accepted, or somebody says something so stupid or ignorant, like, were you in a fire? Last week I got that. People are ignorant, and here's the truth. They don't mean to be. They really don't mean to be jerks. They just don't know. And so I promise you, if you will educate yourself, if you will have the information, so that when people ask you questions, or even say ignorant shit, because they will, you know enough about the condition to correctly speak to it. And if you're empowered enough, if you're feeling strong enough that day, take a minute and share with them what your journey has been. Yeah, I was diagnosed 6 weeks ago. I was diagnosed a couple years ago, and it's a journey, but I'm like anything else. I'm learning to live with it. And just thank you for your thoughtful questions, because here's the truth. There are a lot of people that know you and love you that maybe you haven't come out and gone public like I have with. I'm living through the dying, living through the death of my melanin. Not everybody is comfortable being naked and afraid and putting themselves out there. I get it. But people will oftentimes notice that either there is a change on your skin or there's a change in you, that you're not okay. And that's not okay. And that's why I would encourage you, when you're ready and however you're ready, talk to the people that are close to you, whether that's people at work, your family, your closest friends, associates, that, this is something that I'm going through. This is what it is. And I just would appreciate just your support, because I'm having a hard time. And it's okay to have a hard time. Again, feel the feels. And the more you know, the better it's going to be for you to speak with confidence among the people that you know and to perfect strangers. And these are the things that are going to start to happen. Number one, you're going to start to feel more comfortable talking about it. Number two, you're going to find people that go, oh my gosh, me too, my daughter too, my mom too, my neighbor too. And they're excited to talk to somebody else who's also going through something that's really hard for them too, or their loved one too. And they can relate to you. And isn't that yummy? That's the warm chocolate chip cookie that we all deserve, is that feeling of yes. And so, friends, I'm going to leave you with this. You are beautiful. You are handsome. You are perfect, exactly how you are. And this journey with this unique skin condition is one that you're going to learn so much about yourself and about those who love you, those that show up for you. And it's perfectly okay. In fact, it's awesome to find comfortable in the uncomfortable. Because again, that's life. That's not just about vitiligo, right? That's life. And the more that you can share with the people that love you, that want to support you, that are there for you, the better that you're going to feel, because there's going to be days, just like it is for me, that are just hard, that you don't feel like talking about the thing. You don't feel like looking at the damn thing. You don't feel like feeling all the feelings that having vitiligo brings out. Because sometimes it feels hard. That's just the truth. And I hope you stick around. I hope you click on the next videos that specifically talk about so many of the really important facts that we need to know as we're navigating this journey. We're going to have a lot of videos coming on with brilliant dermatologists and other specialists, medical researchers, even some of the pharma industry representatives that are actually doing really good research. Some of them are in partnerships with other institutions to find better treatments. And I do believe, me to you, I do believe that we will find a cure for this. The question is going to be when, and that is going to be up to us, the people that know about this condition, that are living with this condition, demanding better research and advocating for ourselves for better medical care and more awareness. Because through both awareness, advocacy, and research, we will provide ourselves with an opportunity to heal. Again, whether that's better treatments for now or ultimately a better cure, and not just for ourselves. The statistics show that up to 30-35% of people that have vitiligo will have other family members affected, not necessarily just our children, but just other family members. And wouldn't it be awesome to know, to not only be a resource for them, but know because of our advocacy, because of your advocacy, my advocacy, there are better options for them tomorrow than there are for us today. So with that, friends, I will leave you. I love you. You are the light. Continue to shine bright.